My fellow inventors, what do we mean when we say we have a heart and we're going to be adding even more love to your precious inventions? Well, here's an example that works for me. If we look at creation, it's really a blissful, beautiful, ultra-complex simplicity, whether it be everything that we see or who we are. For instance, no one has ever created a spaceship or a robot that can do what this body can do, the way it can see and feel and hear in the perspective that it's in, no matter what perspective that is, and how simultaneously things live in different perspectives and different dimensions. For example, if we take a dog's life and how it's a complete adult in 1 year, how is it that he can live a lifespan of 70 to 100 years in 7 years? He gets old faster. He lives in a different time speed, a different dimension, and that is all a part of the beautiful, complex arrangement of creation. More and more creative people now are trying to utilize different dimensions. For example, with what we're doing with cell phones, computers, 3D printers, self-driving electric vehicles, and the wide assortment of different medical breakthroughs, etc. And in those innovations, we have just begun to scratch the surface of what our potential is in our atmospheres and the various ways that we can utilize those potentials. All of those atmospheres and more are open for inventors to tap into. It's simplistic inspiration and the love of that inspiration that opens you up to those profound perspectives. Greed closes you and keeps you in a very limited, shallow perspective. Making your inventions available to people in a fair way keeps that inspiration open. If you're a child, or if you have a childlike spirit, then you're the most productive inventor. You do not want to lose that. It should be fun and exciting and artistic to you. And with that spirit, you'll always be excited about adding and evolving your ideas, making them better and better to you. We want to encourage that fever and that feeling that excites you to make something. We encourage and we expect inventors, no matter how young or how old, to reflect that childlike spirit. We love that spirit and we love that creativity, and that is why we are a nonprofit with a heart. And we feel it is our job to keep those channels open and to keep those perspectives evolving. Therefore, we are motivated to inspire you to continue to invent. If you continue to invent, you're going to add on to it just like we have had any other great idea. When they were first creating cell phones, they started out with a really big, bulky thing. And when the home phones were first being invented, they had to travel through these huge switchboards. You had to plug in a line to reach someone that would get that person you wanted to talk to on the phone. There was a lot of inventing that took place. We want to encourage inventors to continue to invent as long as they can. It's a good thing to do. It's good for your soul. We don't recommend that you do it always just for the money. Do it because you like to invent. Like my fellow inventors behind me, they loved inventing. We want to encourage you to stay innocent about it, like a child. If you like to build rockets, design clothes, or write songs, for example, we want you to do those things, whether you're ever famous for them or not. We want you to do those things, and you never know what you're going to come up with. Next year, you take that melody and you add it to those lyrics and you put all these things together and you have something that's marketable. And when you do, we're right with you. And we're guiding and encouraging you on the best ways to do that. If something doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere, we're still going to encourage you to continue working on that, even if that means going back to the drawing board and starting all over again. The songs you hear on the radio and the products you see on TV are usually 1 in a million. Millions of people try to be in that position, and few of them ever really make it to that stage. Even the ones that don't make it to that point, we're still encouraging them to continue creating and help them to understand that their creative time was never wasted. Every moment spent creating is wonderful and often wondrous. Something as personal as inventing comes from the love of making things. And when that's changed into greed, it hampers the growth of things. And also you, as an inventor, tend to lose interest in it. There are good musicians that, because of the industry, have lost interest in doing that. It's really a very greedy, uncreative atmosphere that the creative person can be forced to stay in through contracts and other ways of being obligated to become and remain successful in what can be very shallow waters. We care about your success as much as you do. But your relationship with us is not based on that. It's based on you continuing to do what it is you love, that you're making things that you like to make. And if it comes to being a marketable thing, we're right with you. And we have everything set up for you to take whatever it is that you're creating to the entire world. If it doesn't look like it's going to go that direction, we're still going to encourage you to bring your creations to us so we can see exactly where it can get to. We all like the bottom line. It helps in the practical inspiration to create more. If you didn't have financial responsibilities, for instance, you'd probably have more time to invent. But it might be necessary for you to be doing everything that you can, making ends meet while you're developing an even stronger work ethic with that growing appreciation for what your life may open up to in your own creative process. These things make sense. But when you do that and you continue to hack your way through the underbrush and work your way through to the daylight, something beautiful could happen in regards to what you wanted. Not only did you create something that people wanted, but you created a whole new life for yourself. And we're here to encourage that at whatever level you're at and in whatever it is that you're doing.